quite sure if they're already ready to actually just cut each other off. But coming off the kill feed, it's Joker coming from E Arena was able to put down one player from BTR. So I guess they're going head to head at the moment. No confirmation just yet. If anybody had been taken back to the lobby, it's another player from BTR.
Great knocks coming out of Arena, finding those catches as it's being retaliated coming from the back end. It's Bumblebee shooting right back at him. It's just a couple of all these stars that they pop. And you are looking at all these teams scrambling because right now the update is 50-50. Island as well as the mainland. So plenty of these teams are looking for whatever gaps that they can find to hold on to. And there goes Showdown on the ground already.
Of course, already has a total of 8 elimination points in the bag here. Sem9 back on the screen, just punishing the boys of GLU squad this time. Hexa's already down, but not by Sem9, but by BTR. And just like that, ladies and gents, we already have 2 teams out. Alpha 7 and, was that D plus Kia? Yes, D plus Kia already out.
Yeah, there's just not much room for them to actually play from. They entered very, very late coming in from the far west. And there was already those attacks coming from Alpha 7. Now in between is BTR getting caught up, so it's only down to Kent. And I'm not too sure what more can he actually make out of the situation. Wolves just stand toe-to-toe up against Blue Squad, dodging that vehicle, goes in for the knockdown, and hoping to secure at least 1 point back. Quickly losing those tires, but he's still making a run for it. Kid holding it down, and he's still bringing points back, shredding out Blue Squad in the process.
Oh, great vantage point for Falak. Okay. He could definitely utilize this very position, I mean, to his advantage, which is, of course, always perfect, and as our hostage. But, man, losing to Sem9 again in Miramar. Oh, I do wonder if Four Tribes going to do something about it. Match number 3. But in another part of town, it looks like FaZe Clan and Alpha 7 going head-to-head. Revo down on the ground, but right behind him are his teammates. Squashboo already on his way to the rescue from the kill feed. That's what it's BTR versus NS Red Force.
Benny's gonna be able to find
east side, but most of the teams, just like Sem9, even Void Duncan, even Talon Esports, Vampire, I feel like, you know, they're gonna collide in just a while. That fight's definitely gonna brew. I mean, it's already brewing.
Speaking of which, right now, Nashim with a great tag. TZ somehow spots him with what? Only a red dot sight.
See that Bumblebee already headed towards San Martin. He's waiting for Satar, while Vampire Esports is picking up Miola in this situation, but Ventura is also on the way. So I feel like the BTR Vampire connection, it's still gonna happen even at this stage. But we already have 3 squads at least headed towards San Martin. We've got Hora, NS Red Force, we've got GLU as well. But NS Red Force, speaking of them, okay, I think someone took a hit and now currently down on his knee. So let's see if he will be taken out as well. But as for Ventura's man, great shot coming from Sky of Horror.
Yeah, he had the elevated views, but not quite enough angles to work for TZ to find themselves in a tough situation. But they will eventually overcome the final member of Four Tribes. Oh, close 1v1 coming in from Bumblebee ahead. He has to stay afloat. Oxy, is it not? We'll have to find out. Meanwhile, Alpha 7 right now on our screens looking for that first elimination point up against the rest of Team Secret. Big Nate popped upon Xerus. Not enough to actually find the mark with those Molotovs just yet, but those grenades are looking pretty scary, dropping very closely onto Trank as well as Jiki.
I mean, GLU, NS Red Force, Alpha 7, Team Secret, these are the team battles that are already inevitable. I mean, obviously one of the team will only be the one to step inside the zone at this point. I mean, considering the fact that every team that I just mentioned are still outside of the zone. Now, we can see Carillo's popping off some smokes here, but Team Secret already decided, hey, maybe, you know, it's better for us to just prioritize getting inside the circle before we get into any fights. I mean, you don't want to overextend your stay in Miramar. I mean, outside of the zone there. GK got eliminated by Team. Same thing goes for Doc of Team Secret, and Zeta's been getting some damage as well coming from Break of Vikings, and Vikings seems to be winning the fight up against Team Secret, and just like that, 4 elimination points down in the bag here for Team Secret, but they're back in the lobby.
And you just look at the impact that Superman actually brings to the table right now. He's just charging forward, fighting all his eliminations. Bumblebee still has it in the back, taking out Zeta. Potato as well. This one taken out by Superman. And there goes Boy Donkey. Already 9 points for the Vikings. Well, can BTR still hold firm? Bumblebee being absolutely quiet. But Superman knows there's still somebody in there. T wants to leave no stones unturned. Needs to be tossed over the upper end, but he's hiding on the bottom instead. And I think that they have a little hunch. Well, through the window, they managed to spot him out. So there goes BTR, top 6 finish. Respectable for what it's worth.
Through the windows, through the walls, we got Viking Esports dominating that exchange. Eliminating, of course, the remaining players come from
a very dangerous spot. It's Talon to steal that pointer away. While Talon Esports continues on, propelling up ahead, and just like that, Talon Esports stealing that 1 pointer away just gives a little bit more of a signal warning to the rest of Blue Squad, who's over on the far hills. And my. It is looking rather tough as this Minas Generalis position is not going to be playable. A lot of all these teams struggling to even get through the blue.
All right, here we go. 17 teams remaining. Stage 2, BTR going up against Fourth Tribes. T2 for Falak down on the ground here. Same thing goes for IQ. BTR having a great time dominating this collision over here. Probably because they do have the better vantage point, I can say. But checking out the map feed over here, and as Red Force might go up against Alpha 7 and even Horror Esports. Over to the east side, we got Vampire Esports, Sem9, even RQ, D-Saver, D-Plus Kia coming into play.
And yet, we got the rest of them. Talon's got to also worry about the rest of the teams that are over on to meet us. And you look at, you're getting tagged from a distance as well. Satar now going for the exchange as he managed to suppress a member out of Alpha 7.
All right, UI getting inside the building and was able to take a score right off the bat. Shields is doing the same thing with the DB as went home. 3 points in the bag currently for the biggest run by Vitality. And again, we don't even know like if Federalis is actually playing, but then again, they're still doing a phenomenal job here. And now they're about to go up against the boys of Sem9. Okay, so there's a little bit of pressure for Sem9 because they need to step into the zone. And for sure, BTR is going to make it challenging for them. They're going to make it difficult, that is for sure. So let's see if Sem9 will succeed or will they struggle.
Finding a lot of rhythm and now makes it into the top 3. Vikings also on the rampage, 10 points. This is what I've expected out of MVKE when they were playing from the south side, where all the other teams were definitely having some clear signs of struggle overall. And it seems like BTR, they've been so ready and they've been turtling for most part. Now comes the notion of Sem9. How exactly do they infiltrate? Perhaps they're just going to wait and see whether if maybe Vikings can chime in, but it's going to be Mamparang that actually finds the rest of MVKE over the south side, and Yumiko already getting shot. Mika has to be super careful of that position. Third, watching them like a hawk as well. BTR, they're knowing for the fact that these teams have force hands that they need to play out, and they're not going to be revealing their cards until these teams do.
This is still gonna get tough, you know, for the side of BTR. Even if they are like the team who has the best chance to score the chicken over here, but like the moment the circle really shrinks, they will have to eventually leave that compound. And Viking Esports, while BTR is dealing business with Sem9, they're already getting into position over here. Just really anticipating, what will happen next from the side of BTR. Here comes Bumblebee with an angry spray, shutting down Firin. Okay, Sem9 trying to still do an effective counter over here, but it is, again, a little tough on their side. Now, here comes Satar back on the screen here. Manparang goes down. And yeah, BTR just dominated that clash, and now it's time for them to deal business, this time with Vikings.
Yeah, it's gonna be Ken right now, moving across just to get some of all these vision over onto members of MVK. He spots two, so this is gonna be absolutely huge for Mr. Coach Kent. So forget the rest. Vikings now wrapping around. Pins on the outskirts. As much as they spot all these movements, they could not really participate for the moment, and that is always going to be a little bit of a tough call to make for the moment.
Yeah. A better vantage point. So here comes the attack from BTR. Two of them already moved forward. There goes the clash. Bumblebee with effective shutdown was able to score that point, which is, of course, puts Vikings at a disadvantage. So let's see how Vikings going to play this one out. Warranty still not holding. But here comes Kent. Already making a move? Oh, no. I guess this is going to be BTR match.
BTR, they took their sweet time, and now it's their turn to shine. Look at how explosive that they are going, and they will make damn sure they will get it in return.
See of teams tanking the zone at stage 3 is still very likely. I can't really say the same about those who are in the outfield. Yangon Galacticos is currently one of the furthest teams away. Well, or Esports still trying to trail onto the members of Irina. They somehow found two vehicles, and they managed to cut right through, but into the arms of Alpha 7 they go.
Yeah.
Revo stopped them on their tracks.
I mean, obviously, they avoided, to have that conflict settled up against Horror Esports, but then again, they went straight to Alpha 7. So, not looking too good, for E-Arena, because right behind, probably Horror Esports will also try to finish up the job. But Deepos Kia, right now, going up against BTR, just like how we called it, and an exchange already happening. Nobu seems to already have 1 point in the bag, so I do wonder if BTR's down to just 3 members. In the meantime, we're looking at Sleepy as well, shutting down Mormon from E-Arena. Obviously, E-Arena sandwiched in between Alpha 7 and, of course, Horror Esports, so I don't think they're also going to be surviving. But then again, Joker still tries to come out swinging. This time, he was able to do a counter up against Sleepy, shutting him down. So let's see what's gonna happen next.
Situation for Esports this time, getting a couple attacks coming in. Remember Alpha 7? He tries to go for a drop, but he goes rolling on his belly and instead gets dropped. Rebel so far. Impeccable finish. I mean, he took out that member of Irina and then got out for more up against Aura. And it seems like this situation gets even more troublesome for the rest of the Horror Esports members. YG, it's too tough for them to even cut right in. They got Vikings to deal with on the blue zone all the way down south, and they didn't make the cut. Vikings continue on the fight up against the rest of the members of BTR. 2 versus 3. 4 tries rocking around the corner as well. They can third party into this action. Won't break. Finds it all. That grenade seals the deal.
Where they're not exactly hitting that kind of benchmark that they had back in their playoffs, and that just goes to show that one full long week of PUBG Mobile is absolutely exhausting even for some of the best in the world, and imagine training 6 hours a day or even more. So that being said, as much as it's muscle memory, some of these guys out there are still holding up just fine. Looking at the current scenario, we have BTR versus YG. YG now pulling in onto Bumblebee with a jump shot, almost landing the blow, but not quite enough just yet. Off the wall, Master Smile will be able to secure it, but here it goes. A swing coming from the back as well, which he is trying to manhandle, and that's where Razy comes in. And somehow, Razy will be able to still hang
Two members of BT are still fending him off, and this is a tight battle. Razy popping off. He's finding two and looking for more. Throwing that bond. A young chap joining in the party of BTR will be able to at least do some damage, but not quite enough to deter to the member over back. And this kind of costed Red Bull a little bit of that chances. Now closing in onto Lapar. Lapar makes quick work out of both of them. Just like that. Alpha 7. Another team bites the dust.
RQ, BTR, Vampire Esports, all having an exchange here. Bumblebee is not going to transform anymore because, well, it doesn't have the all sparks, number one, and also he's been taken out of the equation, and now Miola taking in some hits as well. Snipe already down on the ground, so it's Nonambon and Razy tandem working for the side of Bigatron. Miola making a move with his shotgun, still trying to find the opening, and he got it. And now coming after a second member of BTR over here is still a dance-off between these two teams. Who will get served? Who will fall down on their knees? It looks like it's Razy of BTR.
Oh, I guess I talked too soon. Vampire Esports is absolutely popped off in that close quarter combat. A little bit of flying action for